YouTube channel. My name is Jemienaftaly. The channel is on kids' welfare, the medical problems, and we also try finding solutions. So I welcome you into my YouTube channel, and if you're new, please hit that subscribe button so that you may join this wonderful family. And if you are that returning subscriber, thank you so much for your support. I'm really grateful. So it has been a while. Now today we are going to tackle a very serious and interesting topic at the same time. So let's move together so that we can be able to get the knowledge and the know-how on these conditions. So our today's topic is on congenital malformations in children. Congenital malformations. So what are these what do we mean by congenital? Congenital are malformations. These are defects that an infant, remember, is that very small baby. We say we call him an infant. These are defects that an infant is born with. So these malformations start, they come immediately, and you notice them immediately the baby is born. So they are born with these defects, imagine, and about 3 to 4% are born with these bad defects. Imagine 3 to 4% you have to find these congenital defects or congenital malformations. These we refer them to as congenital anomalies or abnormalities. So these are not normal things. That is why we are calling them anomalies stroke abnormalities. So I hope this far you've gone so well. You've known what congenital malformations mean. Yes, these conditions, these babies are born with these conditions. These defects can be mild, they can be severe, depending. Some are even life-threatening. So what do I mean here? That some of these defects may be mild. They are small things that can be corrected. Others are very severe. Others are even life-threatening. So this is how far these defects can go. Now, with children with these congenital malformations, these children that are born with these anomalies, they may live for a short time. And others pass on later. Too bad, too unfortunate that sometimes we even end up losing these babies. We end up losing babies immediately after birth, or even they live for a short time, then we lose them, they pass on, very unfortunately. So we have some of the examples. What are the examples of these congenital abnormalities that we are talking about? So commonest are, number one, we have one called the congenital heart diseases. These ones are very common. You've heard of, for example, in layman, you hear people say holes in the heart. Yes, these are the congenital heart diseases. A baby is born, they start having difficulties in breathing. We do x-rays and we find that the heart is big. We call it cardiomegaly. And then after that, they are not able to breathe well. When the child is breastfeeding, you find them having blue discoloration. They are really struggling because they need to compensate of the defects due to the defects of the heart. So that is what we call them in layman, that they have holes in the heart. So this is one. The congenital heart diseases is an example of congenital malformation or defect. This is one defect that these children can be born with. Number two, we have a common one. We call it cleft lip and palate. I'm sure you have heard of it. You have heard of, there have been seminars about the same, so that people these abnormalities can be corrected. So what we mean here, you find that the lip, this is the lip, and the palate is this, the part above and below. So you find that there is a hole. So they are one thing. There is a cleft lip or cleft palate. So there's the way that they have that picture. I believe you can tell what I'm talking about. So the cleft lip and palate, they are one at the same time. You find that the nose and the lip are one, that they have They are not separated as per se. So these are defects, and we call it cleft lip and palate, and it is a congenital malformation. This baby is born with this cleft lip and palate. Number 3, we have something we call spinal bifida. So maybe to explain this, you find that the spine is this back part. You find that the spine sometimes is short. It has got abnormalities, and the child cannot be able to stand upright. So the child is bent somehow. So we find that the spine is not long and usual, the way it's supposed to be. You find it short. So we see there's a defect, and this we are calling spinal bifida. It is one of the congenital malformation, congenital anomaly that this baby is born with. We have another one we call Down syndrome. Down syndrome is a chromosomal defect. We are going to see it later. So it is still one of the congenital malformation. What the child is born with this Down syndrome. You've heard of it. People call it Downs. Yes. So these are some of the examples and the commonest congenital malformations. Now, most of these congenital malformations are genetical or environmental. So you find that it is from the parent. Maybe they inherited from the parent that had this thing. This is what we mean by genetical. They may be environmental. So depending with the environment, then this child gets this defect, or they can be from both of them. You find them being genetical or environmental, or even both genetical and environmental. Hope we are moving on so well and you are understanding. So now, however, most cases, these congenital abnormalities are idiopathic. What is the meaning of idiopathic here? So it means that the causes are not known. In as much as we are saying most of them are genetical and also environmental or both. So other cases, most of these we do not know the cause, what caused this. You find that child just got this Down syndrome, or even this cleft lip palate. There is no specific cause of this, it just happens. This is what we are saying, it is idiopathic. Idiopathic, the cause is not known. Hope you understand. Now, how is there a way that we can prevent, or ways of reducing these chances of these congenital abnormalities? Or which are the, in other words, we actually want to know what are the predisposing factors to having these congenital abnormalities. So number 1 is to avoid smoking. This is to mothers who are pregnant. So if you smoke during pregnancy, you might end up having these congenital abnormalities. So avoid smoking, especially while pregnant. That is number 1 way of reducing, or smoking is a predisposing factor to these congenital malformations. Healthy diet. Mother should get a healthy diet while pregnant again. Remember what this mother consumes. This baby gets through the placenta. So they share everything with the mother, the food. So the health that this mother gets is very important. It should be very, very healthy. You get good balanced diet, drink a lot of water, rehydrate yourself. So this is what we are saying. So healthy diet is a way of preventing, or ways of reducing chances of getting congenital malformations. We also want to prevent infections. So many infections as we want to prevent. This is a way of reducing also, or preventing having children being born with these congenital malformations. So this is by early screening. Early screening, that is especially during the antenatal care. The antenatal care is when this mother is pregnant. When they go to the clinic, you want to screen for any infections early and treat them as early as possible, because this one might give us problems in the end. By the time this mother is delivering this baby, so if we have been having infections without getting treated, we might end up having one of these congenital malformations, and you can see how serious this is. So hope we are moving on so well and you are understanding. So we also want to prevent examples of the infections. We have things we call toxoplasmosis plasmosis is an example of infections during pregnancy. Prevention and control the pre-existing conditions. If the mother is known, for example, diabetic or even hypertensive, we want to control these sugars while pregnant, because we don't want them to give us those congenital malformations if they are not well controlled. So this is just an example of the same. Another way of preventing or reducing the chances of congenital malformation is avoidance on exposure to certain chemicals and even drugs. So you have to be very, very careful with what drugs you give or you take, and even the chemicals, because some of them may predispose this baby into getting these congenital malformations. So very, very serious. So another way is use of folic acid. This is something that mothers just take it for granted. When you're pregnant, you should use the folic acid until the end. The folic acid is important in formation of so many organs, and this happens so early. There's development of the brain of these babies when you start taking folic acid. So those mothers who ignore the use of folic acid while pregnant, just know that you have this risk. These congenital malformations are risks that you're going to get for not taking the folic acid. Please do take those folic acid. They help in development of many organs. We've seen that these congenital malformations affect all the vital signs, the heart, they are everywhere. So just use your folic. And I may recommend these mothers, whenever you start preparing to get pregnant, even before you conceive, it is advisable that you use these folic acids as early as possible. You can see the damage that this can cause if you didn't take. Imagine it is this serious. So take this one seriously, and we are going to reach here for today. Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening. Again, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to be part of us. Also, hit the grey notification bell so that you may be among the first people to know every time I post a new video here. Also, comment down on the comment section. Ask anything concerning this topic, or even the topic that you'd want us to handle. Even my email also, you can slide into my email. It is provided at the end of the video. Please ask those questions. Give this video a thumbnail, like it, and so that we move on together. Thank you. Till next time. Bye-bye.